Hey y'all, welcome back. Turn my volume up. Make sure my Bluetooth not on. Last week I did a video with the Bluetooth on and the audio was all messed up. But welcome back. Happy Tuesday. This video is being shot a little bit later than I usually do. I have been going in the morning time, but going forward it will be in the afternoon time after I get some things completed. But it does not change my passion and enthusiasm to get on and share. So divine inspiration, let's get it. You are a source of inspiration for your friends. You are a source of inspiration for your family. You are a source of inspiration for your community. You are a source of inspiration to every single person connected to you. This is not new information. We know this. We know this. We go over it every single time on purpose and purpose. All right. So if you haven't already read the title, stop blaming yourself. Stop blaming yourself. So you thinking woulda, coulda, shoulda, how things could have played out, how the situation could have resolved, how you could have handled the situation. How could this have turned out better than it did? And you are blaming yourself as if you are the primary reason for things going the way that it did. Well, news flash. It's not your fault. It's not your fault what happened. It's not your fault what went down and how it went down. It's not your fault. So stop blaming yourself and replaying things inside of your mind and situations and scenarios inside of your mind, thinking and contemplating on what you could have did differently. Now, it's not nothing wrong with looking back and reflecting on things and just for like self-growth and self-development. It's nothing wrong with that. But when you're looking back at a situation and you are honestly putting the blame primarily on you, don't do that. And then also too, don't let nobody put the full blame on you. Like, don't ever let nobody say, oh, well, it's your fault that this happened. It's your fault that I did this, and it's your fault that I said what I said. No, don't let people do that to you, because it always takes two to tango. It don't just take one person for something to shake, for something to move. Like, whatever the situation was, you wasn't the only influence of the outcome of that situation. So therefore, you cannot put the blame on yourself as if you are the primary reason for how things went. And I hope it makes sense. I really do hope it makes sense. But replan it and trying to figure out why you said what you said and did what you did. It was gonna happen the way it was supposed to happen anyways. I'm here to tell you. A lot of times when things look crazy, when things look chaotic, when things look like it's falling apart, it could actually be falling together for your good and you don't even know it. But you're so busy criticizing yourself and putting the blame on yourself and judging yourself that you're not looking at how it's all really working together for your good, because you probably haven't seen the other side of this yet. You probably haven't seen how this gonna play out in a little bit. So until you understand things better by and by, don't put the blame on yourself, because it's not your fault. It never was your fault. Things happen. That's life. That's why we walk by faith and not by sight, because your sight will fool you every single time. I'm telling you, things always look sketchy. Most of the time, things look sketchy. It don't look right. It don't seem right. But you got to have faith and understand that, you know what? I'm a human being. I make mistakes. I mess up. I stumble. I fall. But you know what? That's not who I am. And just have a whole perception shift or shift the perspective. Like, just shift your whole perspective about the situation. So I don't know. A lot of times, like I told y'all, I will get a message. I don't know who it's for. And that's why I just have to put it out there and share it, because you don't have to be hard on yourself. And you don't have to criticize yourself so harshly. Ain't nobody perfect. Everybody mess up and screw up, make mistakes, bump their head. That's a part of life. But you blaming yourself is not necessarily gonna help you resolve the situation. Things happen the way it's supposed to happen. Everything happened for a reason. Yeah, okay, you may have said something or did something. Okay, but they said and did something too. So, and then a lot of times we feel things that we have no explanation for. A lot of times we'll be around something or be in the middle of something, and we just feel something feel off, and we can't even really put in words and describe what it is that is causing the feeling. So things happen, and it's gonna continue to happen. So putting the blame on yourself is just, it defeats the purpose. It defeats the purpose to me. Things is gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? And the outcome may not be what you wanted it to be. The outcome may not be on the side of the spectrum that you wanted it to be on. It may not be, but that don't mean that you did something wrong, or that doesn't mean that you screwed up somewhere, or that you was the cause for the outcome. No, absolutely not. So don't blame yourself. Whatever it is, whoever this is, we gonna nip this in the bud today. Like, don't blame yourself. Things happen because it was supposed to happen. And that's like hindsight. Hindsight is being able to look back on the situation and see things from a different perspective. For everybody involved, not just you. Not just you. This is life. This is life we talking about. Life is nothing but a journey and a learning process. Like, you don't never get to the point where you done learned everything you could learn. Never. You're going to continue to learn. You're going to continue to grow. You're going to continue to make mistakes. You're going to continue to mess up. You're going to continue to fall. You're going to continue to stumble. But you know what? You fall 7 times, you stand up 8. Let's go. Let's get it. Love yourself for where you at right now in your journey. Love yourself for where you at. You not where you want to be. You're not where you're meant to be. You're not where you're going to be. But love yourself right where you at. Love yourself right where you at. And when you look back on that situation, I want you to tell yourself, you know what? I did what I thought was best. I did what I thought was right at that time. I did what I felt like I needed to do. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we do things out of survival. And it's like we be unconscious of some of the things that we do. So you can't necessarily blame yourself. You was at that stage of life. Ain't no telling what all you had on your plate. What all you had on your chest, what all you was carrying, what all was going on. Like, we don't know. So that's why you can't necessarily put the blame on yourself. That's way too heavy. Like, that's way too heavy. Like, way too heavy. And me, speaking from a place of wisdom and experience, man, I would never let somebody make me actually feel or believe that something that happened was my fault. I'm going to look at them like, for real? Like, you know, like, them fighting words. Like, square up. Because, no, it's not my fault. It's not your fault. It may not even be their fault. It just is what it is, man. We always need an explanation for stuff. We always need for everything to make sense. We always need all the pieces of the puzzle. That's what life is about. The pieces coming together into the puzzle, the whole grand scheme at the end. But we want it all to make sense right now. We want to label and make sense of everything right now. It ain't gonna make sense. It ain't gonna make sense. It ain't gonna never. You ain't gonna never know the next step. You ain't gonna never know what's gonna happen next. You are not a fortune teller. I am not a fortune teller. Things is gonna happen. Things is gonna occur. Things are gonna take place. And it's like, you being hard on yourself and blaming yourself is not gonna make the process any smoother. So love yourself. If you have to, forgive yourself for where you was at that moment in time, and keep it moving. Unapologetically. Get up, put your head up, and walk, strut. Don't even walk, strut. Love yourself. Love yourself for where you was at and where you at now. Because where you was at and where you at now, if it wasn't for where you was at, you wouldn't be who and where you are now. You wouldn't have what you have now. And when I say have what you have, I mean the wisdom, the knowledge, the experience. You wouldn't have that under your belt. And then where you going? It's like, oh, I wish I could really describe it. It's like I'm having an image in my head. It's like a map. Okay, let me try to explain this the best way I can, and I'm gonna wrap this video up. It's like a map, and it's like three. It's a whole map, and then it's like 3 locations: where you was at, where you at now, and where you gonna be. All those work together. And at each stage and at each point, you're going to be able to look back and be like, that's where I was at that point in time. And had that not happened, and had I not accepted and forgiven myself if necessary, or just accepting things for what it was at that stage, at that point, I wouldn't be at this point. Knowing what I know now, having the understanding that I have now. And then that third point, that third location on the map, you prepping for that right now. So whenever you reflect, and whenever you get a memory, or the enemy try to attack your mind and try to accuse you and bring up your past and bring up what you said and what you did and try to use it against you, I want you to stop it in that moment, in that second, and be like, that wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault. It just is what it is. I forgave myself. I moved on. Boom, 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 boom. Keep it moving. Because you keep trying to carry all that stuff with you. You trying to carry all that heavy stuff with you. You're not going to... It's going to be hard to take off. Just like I think in one of them videos we was talking about, I was talking about like a plane when it's getting ready to, when they get on that runway and it just start going real fast, get ready for takeoff. You're not gonna be able to take off. That's why on a plane, you can only put so much weight on that baby. If you have too much weight on that plane, it's gonna malfunction. So think of it in the same way, in the same sense. For you to get to where you going, pack light. Don't leave all that. You can't take all that heavy stuff with you. Pack light. So that when it's time for you to take off, lightweight, light body. You thriving, you gone, you reach your next destination. That's the best symbolism, analogy I could give you. And I hope it resonates, and I hope it's simplified and understandable. But that's that. I did what I came to do. I love y'all as always. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Don't let nobody steal your sunshine. Smile. Happy 2023. It's a new year. Thank you guys for watching the messages, the video. Go to the channel, y'all. It's free. It's easy. Go to the channel. We watch stuff all day long. Go ahead. Click subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. It's all love. We just spread love and light. That's it. Ain't no harm, no foul. Love you. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.